Hi, I'm Tammy Gillian, and I'm here today with Bob and Ruth Campbell, writers for the Midland Reporter-Telegram. Bob, why don't you tell us just a little bit about where you grew up and your life before the newspaper?
I'm from a town up in the Panhandle near Littlefield called Amherst. A pretty small town, about 800 people now. I think we were a lot bigger back then. We had 1,000. Anyway, my dad was a blacksmith and welder, and I grew up working in his shop from the time I was 11. And a lot of people around Amherst, and I thought I was going to be a welder. And my mother had been secretary to the naval base commander in San Diego, California, when Daddy met her, and she was originally from Blackwell, Texas, down south of Sweetwater. And graduated from Amherst High School there, and did all the things that high school kids do, and went to West Texas A&M University at Canyon. It was West Texas State at the time, and started my newspaper career in 1969 at Emerald Globe News, and actually started out covering politics and trials, which is a lot of what I still do, that and human interest features. And also here at the MRT, or we call it the Reporter-Telegram, I cover economic development. And since then I've been, this is my 9th newspaper, and I'm enjoying my service here with Hearst and hoping to stay with the chain.
That's great. So you bring a lot of great experience with you to the newspaper. Just tell me, what made you want to go on to be a reporter as opposed to staying back home and being a blacksmith or a welder like your father? What happened there?
Well, after about 7 or 8 years in the shop, with welding and grinding and drilling holes and all that, I thought, well, there's got to be a easier way to make a living. It's kind of a tough business in some ways, and I really don't know why I became a reporter. I used to read the Lubbock Avalanche Journal occasionally, when I was a kid, and I would see those bylines and I think, well, gee, what those people do or what they're like or whatever. And then later on, I went to work there in '78 and actually met some of those people who were still there, those bylines I'd read when I was in high school at Amherst. And I really don't know a lot of times why people end up doing what they do. It's just something I sort of drifted into. I was the ad manager for my college newspaper there at WT, and had majored in journalism. I finished my degree in English actually, and I wanted to do something else, and I knew some of the people working over at the Globe, and so they helped me get in over there, and I just kind of snowballed from there.
That's great. That sounds pretty neat. Ruth, tell us about you. Tell us about where you grew up and where you went to school and how you came to be here at the Midland Reporter-Telegram.
I grew up in New York City, and I went to State University of New York at Purchase, that's near White Plains, and graduated with a degree in literature, and thought I either wanted to go into publishing or newspapers, and the publishing came up first, and so I was still looking for a newspaper job because I thought I wanted to be a movie critic, and so I got my first job in Laredo, Texas, and that's how I wound up in Texas in the first place. And this is my 11th newspaper, and
well, that's good. That's good. So you guys both have a lot of experience in papers together. Tell us about, Bob, tell us maybe a little short excerpt on what you like to do in your off time.
I write poetry, songs, play guitar, sing. I've written a couple of novels that I couldn't get published, that sort of thing.
Well, that's great. Ruth, what about you?
I read a whole lot of books, and I like to watch movies, and I walk every day.
Well, that's fascinating. Well, thank you both so much.